The Old Gold and Black recently posted an article which had a sentence in it, among other problematic statements, that said, "Nobody parties at the barn anymore." I find that funny because I've been to parties at the barn this semester, quite a few and quite recently. What they mean is that nobody who matters is having a party at the barn. Nobody who is anybody is having a party at the barn, because when black students use the venue, they're nobodies, invisible, except for in advertising, because when they sell the school to the highest bidder, to the CEO's daughter and the father who owns acres of farmland, they'll put my picture from the Forest vote in the front of the brochure to make sure that they show those promising young prospective students that they have diversity. But the thing is, I'm an anomaly. But you see, Wake will use me as a prop to sell a promise that they won't deliver on. But using a black body for profit without consent isn't anything new. When I see groups of young minority students touring the school, I want to tell them, you're visible now walking around in groups, big groups of brown bodies, but when you get here and the crowd of black faces around you dissipates to a stream of white ones, you'll be both starkly visible and invisible at the same time. I want to tell these students that you're being tricked. When you go to the pit, it will look like the modern version of a plantation, white men yelling and ordering around their new black slaves, sharing their private business in front of the world, talking down to new hires like, "Do you know what biweekly pay is? That means you get paid every other week. Now let me know you understand what that means." These are people that might as well be people you know back home struggling to get by. I want to tell them that there are different worlds within Wake, all viable, but not all visible. That the one your cheerful tour guide sells you isn't the same one you'll encounter when you get here. The overnight stay you had is a setup, and nobody will tell you because we were told to sell this thing to you too, but lying isn't something my mama told me to do. If you, prospective student like me, are one of the black kids that has always been called white, maybe when you get here you will feel starkly black for the first time. Maybe the first time you go to a police-free white frat party in the lounges. If you're a black girl, they let you in, and all the boys keep talking about is your hair and skin, cause y'all know I'm pretty for a black girl. But don't get me started. If you're a black boy trying to go to the same frat party, they hesitate, block you out because you don't belong. Maybe when you go to a party in the barn, a black party, and there's no alcohol like there was at the frat you just frequented, yet somehow there are police everywhere, you'll feel insulted, but decide to have a good time anyway because what can you do about it? The police at the party are police seeking out the threats, police taking a video or two, because I've seen this with my own eyes, taking a video or two on their personal cell phones to show their buddies back in town later, look at these coons. White hero, black beast, black bodies ready to be policed. There's a very specific kind of culture here. Do you know how to conform? When you ask why you feel shut off from the world around you, you'll be told it's just you, that you should join more clubs because you'll meet more people, you're not involved enough, try harder, do more, do more, do more. I want to tell black perspectives it's not true about trying harder, it's about being smarter, knowing that the world that you want to be let into won't ever let you in. They told you you would enter community, but lying is a sin. Learn to be okay with it, settle in, we're here for the long haul. You see, Wake will make sure you sign the dotted line on those loan papers, because after that there are no do-overs, and they got your borrowed bucks to build new dorms while the one you live in has mold in it that makes you sick. I stayed for the name, for the fame, for the way people's eyes widened when I told them I went to Wake Forest, and I knew they'd wonder where I got the money to pay for it. I just didn't tell them that now I'm saddled in debt, and I knew they thought of me differently once they found out I didn't go to a community college that they expected me to. I was tired of being thought of as less, so I decided I would prove that I was more. That may be my undoing. I stayed for the study abroad program, which has been my best semester at Wake by far, and is hands down my favorite thing about the school. But if I had a shot at a second chance, I might not choose the same choice twice. You see, Wake will teach you about yourself, maybe more than it teaches you about the world. I never used to see the world in color the way I do now, or know words like privilege or intersectionality to express the cards stacked up against me. Wake will teach you how to advocate for yourself, how to go to financial aid and get more work-study hours. Your job only gave you 4, they promised you 10, and you need that money to pay your prepaid cell phone bill. See, Wake will teach you about the world you're about to go into, because that world won't look like your neighborhood or your church congregation or your hair salon. Wake will build communities between yourself and the other black students. Even if you don't know them, you'll smile and wave because we've all got each other's backs. Wake will teach you that in the end we'll come out on top by fighting through. Did any of us know what we were getting ourselves into? Among the intersectionality of worlds at Wake, among the privilege and the prejudice, among the long nights spent writing papers and the class debates, among these spoken words, among the streets of London near the Worrell House, among the women who have become my mothers in the pit, the conflict and the tears and the courage it takes to try. This is my world, our world. Welcome, welcome to my Wake.